Hello and welcome to Nerds Converse, the show where we talk about movies, TV shows, and maybe some video games here and there. I am your host, Scotty, and I am joined by Levi
Hey,
and John.
What's up?
You guys both failed. The correct answer is hello there. And then the other one should say General Kenobi. But
Dang, we're
yeah,
off
you
the
guys
podcast.
both failed. How dare you? Yeah. Let's
kicked
all
off.
right.
We didn't even get started.
That's a wrap. We'll see you guys on next episode. No, so today,
Not us though.
yeah, I'm gonna get some new nerds. Just collect them. I'm gonna be like Pokemon, just collecting them all. I gotta make sure I'm not too loud to want to wake up my child. I'll do my best.
Don't give her last name.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, it's dox it completely. I'm just gonna dox everybody, All right. Well, welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about probably one of the most debated and controversial films of all time. The Acolyte. No, I'm kidding. It is the Phantom Menace, which, funny enough, actually, I don't know if you two went to the movie theaters on May the 4th, but they were playing the Phantom Menace in theaters. And after the Phantom Menace, there was a trailer for the Acolyte because they were like trying to shoehorn it in, like, look, this is part of the same story. I didn't stay. I left right after the movie ended. I was like, you know what? I've seen this movie. I don't really want to stay for after credits because I know what happens. It's kind of ruined already. But it was really cool to experience that movie again since 1999. That was the very first movie I ever watched in 1999. So, but we'll go ahead and
You're old.
we're all old, not too old though. Well, we'll go ahead and get started with our first section, which is just the review. So, John or Levi, if you guys like to go first and just talk about your thoughts on the movie in general.
Come on, John. You know you want to.
I'll kick it off. So this movie,
John's got to pull up a spreadsheet.
I gotta pull my spreadsheet. Yeah, let's see. So this movie contained the introduction to what I think of as Star Wars. So of course 4, 5, and 6 came first, but the prequels really just like complete that whole story for me. And as someone who grew up in these movies, this era, the prequel era, I really love this movie. I think that it's got it all. It's got really, really great fight scenes. It's got politics. Everyone loves that. It's got many different planets you're visiting, different species, a lot of fun sci-fi stuff. And then just the story, you get to see the early development of Anakin Skywalker, as well as Obi-Wan Kenobi, I would say, is another really main character in my mind for this film. So I really do enjoy this movie a lot. I don't know how long to ramble on about it, but I just think that it got a lot of, it's controversial, right? It got a lot of hate coming out of theaters back in, when was it, 1999. I was a couple months old, so I was raging at that time as well with the nerds. It was just abysmal as a 3-month-old or however old I was. But no, I think that as time has gone on, people have realized that there really is a lot of good to this movie, and it's kind of a work of art. And George Lucas just kind of continuing on his story and expanding his universe in a way that we hadn't seen before. So, yeah, good movie.
What would you get it out of 5 Sebulba chickens that he eats, or whatever the thing is that Jar Jar, whatever thing that Jar Jar grabs, he tries to eat it, and then Sebulba like goes over and eats it.
Turns to turn him into a goop.
Yeah, he's gonna turn into goop or something. Yeah.
I mean,
what would you rate out of 5?
I would probably give this one on the scale of 5. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Personally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Very
I think it's
high
up there.
standards. For...
And I'm with that scale. I'm thinking. I'm giving that scale is kind of like out of the Star Wars films, right? It's not like a film score. I'm thinking in terms of like 5 out of 5 being like a Return of the Jedi in my mind.
I mean, Levi, come help me. Please help me with this. We're not in the hot topic issue yet, but please help me with this. A 4 out of 5?
Yeah, Scotty.
I think so.
Oh, how could you, John?
Let's do the rebuttal.
John. Personally, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 if I were to. I'll just start off with my rating.
Dang it.
Solid 4 out of 5.
And
I'm in love with this movie, if I'm being honest.
A revolt against the host.
I'll keep my mouth shut until it's my turn. Go ahead, Levi.
Well, okay, Scotty, to be fair, it's a 7 out of 10, not an 8. Okay? But the closest thing I can do is either 4 out of 5 if we're rounding up.
Okay.
Or 3 out of 5 if we're rounding down. I can't do that to the fan. So, yeah. You forced me to say 4 out of 5, really is what it was, Scotty. I was going to say 7 out of 10.
Oh, because you were going by 10s instead of 5, so you were like,
yeah, that's what I had in my Excel sheet
well,
here.
screw you. I got a 5, so only 5s here, boys.
Alrighty. Well, so this movie fascinated me when I was young because the only things I could really look at from the initial 3 that were released by Captain Lucas, the A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Captain Jedi Wins Again. Those 3 movies were phenomenal, but the only 3 things they really gave him to go prequel this series was Tatooine. Luke was like, the planet is kind of a starting point in A New Hope, as well as for Anakin's story. They also referenced Darth Vader as Anakin, in the original Star Wars.
Just like, oh, you're not talking about in Phantom Menace. I thought you were like Qui-Gon actually says Darth Vader. I mean Anakin. Oops.
No. No, like in the original. So they have Anakin, Tatooine, Obi-Wan, or Old Ben. They use those like main 3 points, in my opinion, and craft up the prequels. That's what it feels like to me. Because those are given in the original. Not Han Solo or
So you're saying that George Lucas kind of just copied and pasted and just did it again, but with different characters?
Yeah, he's a cheapskate. He's really not that good at... I'm just kidding. So he took those 3 points and we're like, all right, I'm going to create a world out of it. And he did. He filled in the backstory to Anakin, the origin of Tatooine, Obi-Wan being his master, and built this entire intricate, political story with characters that you fall in love with, care about. It's impressive what he did with just a few major points that he took from the original to tie it all together. As well as Palpatine, of course. That's one big one. But
what I'm hearing is that you're giving props to the original trilogy and saying like, yeah, it's just the same, but you haven't really told me or John why it's a 4 out of 5 movie. Why is it a 4 out of 5 movie?
No, John did that for you. Do you need me to do
It's got
I need you to add
lightsaber.
Did you see Darth Maul? He's got double.
I love how
does anyone else do that well? No.
All of us just lost our minds when they were just like, oh, lightsaber, double, and give it to the next person, and you're like, it's like both of them come out, and everybody just like loses their mind. They're like, oh, I would have never thought of that. Oh!
I mean, it was just major fan service to the younger crowd, as well as OG fans of the first 3 that came out. So I mean, as soon as he went double lightsaber mode, and a bunch of the things in the movie were very much fan service to fans, as well as targeting the younger generation who fell in love with the prequels. That's us. Fell in love with the prequels and love the entire Star Wars story. Anything that comes out Star Wars, we automatically have a huge expectation for it and love for it. So I think they targeted us, honestly. That's why it's a 4 out of 5. Scotty.
Looking back,
those fights are so cool.
Can I quick intermission here and just ask?
no,
what
you had your turn. No, you got
what order did you guys watch these films in as kids, if you can remember? Was it canonical or release order?
I remember, actually.
I remember.
So mine was 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6.
Oh my gosh. That's like whiplash.
You know something that's pretty sad about my order is I learned about the entire Star Wars story by playing Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, and then I watched it.
I mean, hey, that is there's no shame there whatsoever. That my students ask me all the time. They're like, "What is a game that you would want to take on a deserted island?" And I say, "Star Wars, Lego, Star Wars: The Complete Saga." And they go, "What? That's such a bad game." I was like, "No, it's not. It's fantastic." So you've obviously never played it if you think it's a bad game.
The thing was, I was not intelligent enough to realize through the mumble cutscenes they did in the Lego games, which I really do love. But I didn't realize that Darth Vader was Anakin until I watched the movies.
True. You wouldn't have known.
But I did.
Also, you probably weren't even skilled enough to get the mini kits back then.
Whoa,
like I wasn't.
That's too far.
Just saying.
Almost stuck. He is like, "I can't find this one mini kit." He literally just turns around. It's like in the Droid Factory level where you just walk backwards to find the first mini kit.
Yeah,
I say that because I could not find that one for the longest time. And
I mean, why did they make that
sound?
The mini kit sound was like the most satisfying sound. I still hear it like rent free in my head. You know, when you collect it, it's just like.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it for the video.
That'd be great.
All right, we just heard it. It's good. We heard it again. No, John, I kind of with you with the whole order thing was kind of messed up for me too.
Mm-hmm.
I watched 1, 2, 5, 4, 6, 3. I mean 4, 5, 6, 3. Sorry, 4, 5, 6, 3. Sorry, because I watched the first one in theaters. And this kind of goes with my review. So you're done. So I watched the first one in theaters in 1999. I remember because my mother was mortified as we went to the theater. She was mortified because the trailers came on. And in the back of the day, before priority seating, like you didn't pay for a ticket for a seat, you paid for the ticket and you ran there and got the best seat before the movie started. And so the trailers were playing. My mom was mortified that these bad trailers were coming up, and she was just like, I remember she was crying. She was like trying to cover her eyes. There's like 4 of us though, 4 of us kids and my dad, and so she's like trying to cover my eyes, trying to cover my sister's eyes as well. And she's just, it's just like, I remember she just was so mortified. She's like, "We're never going to theater again. You're never watching Star Wars until you're older again." Like that was terrible. And it wasn't even the movie she was mad at; it was the previews. And I was like, "Well, just miss the previews." So flashback to 2002 when Attack of the Clones came out. And go on a date. My uncle takes us, and we go to watch Attack of the Clones. And I remember I watched it, and I got back. And I can't remember if it was me or my sister or my brother. I can't remember. But told my parents, like, where'd you guys go? We went and watched Star Wars: Attack of the Clones. My mom was like, "Wow, you watched another bad movie." It was funny. But then I watched 4, 5, and 6 because my dad had on VHS, and we watched them. We watched those, and that's how I got introduced to Star Wars. But going back to episode 1, my review.
He rounded down.
It is a solid 3 out of 5. or a 6, or a 6 or a 7. It is not the worst of the prequels. It's not. It's not, and we'll get to it next week when we talk about Attack of the Clones, which is the worst. And you guys can fight me
Sure.
on that all you want, but I'll prove it. But the Phantom Menace is a good movie in the fact that it sets up the story pretty well, and it sets the stakes, right? It really sets the stakes of how Anakin becomes Darth Vader, and the reason that this movie is so low is because of the child acting. Jake Loyd,
You hate
I
him.
love him, bless his heart. He's not a good actor. At least when he's a child. Yeah, all the bullying he got was necessary. No, I'm kidding. It's terrible what Star Wars fans did to him. But I mean, think about it. This was the biggest thing. Like everybody like lined up to watch this in '99. They were so stoked because they hadn't had Star Wars in 22 years, and so they're like, "This is the next one. Like this is great." And you're right, John. The whole legacy of how this was built was that George Lucas planned it from he did 4, 5, and 6. He wanted to have that middle. He wanted to tell the middle story, and then he wanted to tell the prequel story. Then he wanted to tell the story after the middle story and to close it out, the ending. He wanted to complete. He wanted to do 9 movies. If you didn't know that, but he felt like he was too old. The prequels really drained him, and so he didn't do it. So he gave it off to Disney, and that's why we have the crap that we have. That's enough, but we'll get to that eventually. Anyways, I think Phantom Menace is an okay movie. It's entertaining. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of good story. There's a lot of good visuals in it as well. It's just the writing, man. And I think this is just George Lucas in general. And we'll cover this because, like, I think Mark Hamill is famous for saying, "George, nobody talks like that." And I feel like there's a lot of moments in this movie where just like nobody talks like this. Like, what are we doing here? And we'll get to my hot take later, and it'll kind of shock you. But I don't feel like I feel like this is a good movie when it comes to the action and the story. The premise of it, the overarching story within the whole cosmos of what we already know about Darth Vader, what we already know about the story ahead, is very interesting to watch. And I wanted to bring up to you guys. Have you guys ever watched like another prequel movie or whatever, or something to the fact, and that's just the director or something like that putting things in reference to the older movies, and you're like, oh wait, look, there's this thing from this is an Easter egg, or this is a reference to the movie from before.
Even TV shows that are
Like,
prequels,
you know, the
will
dangling cheek
reference old
keys
movies.
moment. I thought
Yeah.
about that.
Every episode.
Yes. Yeah, and they're just like, oh look, I think there's like a South Park meme goes, remember? It's like he's like grapes or something. But I thought about some dangling keys moments, and just watching this movie just made me think of that. I'm just like, man, just Yoda in general, just being there. Like, hey, look, it's Yoda. Do you remember him from Empire Strikes Back? And then,
but he looks better now.
Oh, Jabba the Hutt. Remember him? He looks better now, right? He doesn't. Have you seen the episode 4 where Han Solo is like talking to Jabba the Hutt, but it's not Jabba the Hutt?
I think I have.
It's just like this big fat guy. I don't know if he's supposed to be Jabba the Hutt. Look it up.
Man, it was funny.
I think he was Jabba.
I gotta look this up. I'm gonna put Jabba the Hutt human. It is. I was today years old. This is on Reddit. I was today years old when I found out that Jabba the Hutt was a human. It's just a guy in a fur coat. It's a big guy in a fur coat. And then George Lucas was like, nah, this has gotta be this has gotta be a space creature. It can't be a human being.
Can't be a fur coat, man.
Well, sorry, I'm getting off track, but that's my review of the movie. I think it's very entertaining. For the beginning, it's right off the bat action. The politics are very limited, and there's so many things. And this kind of goes into the trivia portion that we're about to get into. But there's so many things in this movie that when I watched it for like a fifth or sixth time, when I watched it in theaters, I was like, "Whoa." I did not know this was in this. Like, I just realized this. Like, this the plan that Palpatine, and you know that Palpatine is the bad guy because he's Emperor Palpatine, and you're like, oh my word, that's the guy, same guy's name. And I would love to go back in '99 and be that person, be that kid again, and watch it and be like, oh my word, he's
Right.
pulling so many strings. Like he is truly an evil dude, but like in the shadows, and that's so cool to watch. I think that's why I like this movie better than Attack of the Clones, because it's more Palpatine just being devious.
He is.
He's a
And
devious
then
devil.
you have he is, and he's great. And Ian McDermott, I think. Yes, Ian McDermott just does such a great job, just
Still does
portraying
to this
him.
day.
So I think that's he still does. You know, looks like
Wow.
half dead, like a corpse, like Bernie Metzow. Like
I have a question for you guys though about initial or rewatching Phantom Menace and just your opinions on how they set it up. When I watched it back, I want to know you guys' opinion on this. I thought they did an amazing job with emphasizing how terrified people were of Jedi. Just from the first few scenes. From the first scene, really. Like how powerful the Jedi felt to the viewer without even knowing what the Jedi can do. Do you guys agree that that was like impressively done?
yeah,
I'd agree.
I
It blew my
mean,
mind
they were
just
kind of
watching it back again. I
revered.
didn't even think about it until watching it again recently. It's like, wow,
Well,
Jedi
I
were
mean,
terrifying to everyone, and we didn't even see them do anything yet.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, you knew when they started cutting that door with the lightsaber that it was about to be on.
That was sick. Yeah, and then they use the force speed and then never use it ever again
Yeah.
in the movie.
Wait, when did they use force speed when they saved Jar Jar? Is that the only?
No, when they're cutting through the door, then the droidekas come up.
Oh,
The
In the
battle
method
destroyers or destroyers, whatever
yeah.
they come up, and then they just like
Droidekas.
take off. Where are those droidekas? Um, speaking of which, Levi, when you're talking about they have like the power ranking of these Jedi, but they also bring out the like the realism of them as well, and that they can die. And I think Qui-Gon has that line with Anakin, because Anakin goes, nobody can kill a Jedi,
True.
and and Qui-Gon says, I wish that were true. And it just like it's a
Qui-Gon knew he was
foreshadow of
doomed.
Qui-Gon's death as well in the movie. And like watching that, yeah, he knew he was dead from the beginning. Um, you know what? I changed my mind. The 3.5 out of 5. Just from this conversation alone, just makes me reminisce and think about wow. And I think
We
just
did it,
alone
John.
with Palpatine, that's what
We
makes
got
me
to
have a
him.
bigger score. So, you did it. Good job. All right, it's going back down to 3. All right, now we're going to go into the trivia portion of the section. John and Levi, before you are 2 whiteboards.
Darn.
I'm kidding. You don't have 2 whiteboards in front of you. I cannot travel all the way across the United States of where you are. I'd give you whiteboards. I would if I could. But in order for you guys to play, I need you to DM me separately. You guys can do that. DM me separately.
In Discord?
I'm gonna go my direct messages. Okay. Ooh, this would be fun. And in Discord, yeah. And I want you to give me the answer. I'm going to ask you the question, and then you're going to give me the answer. and I will tell you the correct answer afterwards. That way, it's not just you saying the answer and be like, "Well, actually, I had that too," and it's wrong. Don't DM Craig. That
Craig,
will not
what's your
help.
answer?
Craig.
We call
Craig
him a friend.
Craig is just the recording device we're using this.
Yeah.
I call Craig on my team.
I'm gonna zoom in on Craig and his deadbeat face, like his eyes. It's just his.
Can I
beady
call him my wife
eyes.
who's never seen Star Wars? Anything?
If you want to use Lifeline, sure. All right. Question
Yeah.
number 1. Are you ready? Okay. What is the name of Anakin's first master? What is the name of Anakin's first master? And if you want to play along in the comments, you can. You can cheat easily by listening to it and then writing in the comment, but that's fine if you want to cheat. I'm not gonna know. Oh, I have a direct message from John.
Yeah, it was the Gaunt droid. Everyone knows that.
I didn't know you spelled it. Do you spell it like that? Hold up.
I have no idea how you spell it. It's probably.
I was right. I was right in my spelling. Points off for you, John, for
I'm
spelling.
trying to figure out how to spell it
Okay,
too.
there you go.
I have a DM. Do I have a DM? Oh no, never mind. It was just a DM. Are you gonna DM me?
Yeah, I don't
Levi,
know how to
your
spell his name.
Also, you two also don't cheat, please.
I would never cheat. It's not the way of the Jedi.
Which one are you going with, Levi?
I don't know how to spell this crap. I want John to do this crap. Oh wait, I think I know how to do it.
For
is it this?
Yeah, for the audience, for our listeners.
Okay.
Yes, it is that. For our listeners, Levi first put Guado, Guado. That is.
I got there.
Definitely not the right answer. But he gave 3 answers, and so I gave him the first one. You all are correct. It is Watto, spelled with a T. Watto, spelled with a T. Good job. Good job. That was the easy question. So I don't know how this is gonna go. We'll see if you guys are true nerds or not. Okay, question number 2. Who played Queen Amidala's double? Who played Queen Amidala's double? Oh my gosh. No, stop. Just stop. Nice. Nice. I love it. All right. Answers are in. The correct answer is Keira Knightley. I don't know if I should give it to Levi or not. He put Kyra Knightley, then Knightley, and then Rightly.
Thank you.
I'll give you half a point because it is Kira.
Yep, I said it in my head is Kira,
also known as Elizabeth Swan. For those of you that also want to know, John put George Lucas. Now that would have been something else. It said a little trivia fact here. It said that when Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley both put on the makeup, their mothers could not tell who
serious?
was who.
I gotta look back at this.
Skill issue.
That's some bad mothering right there.
Oh, that's how you spell her name. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. Oh, don't look up on Google, Levi. You can easily find the answers, even though you're taking a Phantom Menace quiz 20 minutes before the show.
I just thought it'd be fun,
started. Yeah, it's just definitely not cheating. By the way, whoever wins, I don't know. Maybe I'll send you something in the mail. I don't know. The overall Star Wars trivia. So, all right. Question number 3: How old was Natalie Portman during the Phantom Menace? During the Phantom Menace, like while they were shooting, how old was she?
I'm gonna take a guess. I don't know though.
Okay. Answer in. Once your answer is in, it is final. Levi, you cannot give me like 15
Just
different
one.
answers. All right. All answers are in. All answers are final. You guys both got it wrong. It is 16.
What'd you say, John?
Hey, come on. You think a
I said 17.
You think a 19-year-old Levi would be flirting with a 9-year-old?
The actress?
You think a 16-year-old?
Dude, I thought she was
flirting with a
30. I'm
9-year-old?
glad I put 19.
I put 17. I was one way.
I've seen more pedophilic actions in my life.
Heard it here first.
Pops, get him. This is recorded. Get him.
Just being honest.
Mods, get him. All right. Question number 4. Please, God, get us through this. Who is the senator of Naboo? Who is the senator of Naboo? I want the character's name. I swear, if I get George Lucas again.
Senator of Naboo.
Give me a
Well,
character.
I feel like this is a trick question.
Who is the senator of Naboo? By the way, all these questions are in reference to the Phantom Menace, not in reference to Attack of the Clones, not in reference to
Yeah.
Rogue One, Star Wars story. All right, Levi, I have your answer. It is in. I love it how you follow everything 4 or 3 question marks. There's no confidence whatsoever. John is typing.
Oops. No. I misspelled that last word, but I don't know. I don't think I know this one.
Oh, for reference, audience, Levi put Padme, which, not bad guess. John put Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, I don't know how you. Well, I guess the U and the I on the keyboard are pretty close together, so that's permissible. The answer.
No, that was intentional.
The answer, for the answer for this question is Sheev Palpatine. Sheev Palpatine is the senator of Naboo.
Really?
He is the senator of Naboo. Mm-hmm. He is.
Palpatine?
Palpatine is, and he tells Padme, he's like, it'd be really good for our country if I was the chancellor, and that's how he gets Chancellor Valorum off of the panel.
Really?
Because he's like, we need to do this for our country.
Right.
I didn't know it. When I watched it again.
I didn't realize that.
I watched it again, and I was like, holy crap! Like, this guy's truly evil. Like, he's the senator of Naboo. He put a trade block on his own country, on his own planet, in order to get the influence, against the chancellor, in order for him to become chancellor and eventually become emperor.
Yep.
Like, the guy is working like.
That's just a good business model.
He is. He's a good businessman. But then when
I like the guy.
But then, like,
he's a do it kind of guy, He's like, him and Nike get along.
Here's the thing.
Just do it.
Do it. Here's the thing, though. In Attack of the Clones, his plan is absolutely just bonkers. And we'll talk about it next week. But his plan, he has no idea what the heck he's doing. He's such a mastermind in Phantom Menace, and that's why I love Phantom Menace more than Attack of the Clones. Because Attack of the Clones, everything is out the window with his plan. He's like, I don't care, kill them all.
Yeah.
All right, last question, final question. What does Jar Jar Binks scream is chasing the Jedi while they are underwater? What does Jar Jar Binks scream is chasing the Jedi while they are underwater? Okay, got one answer in. I thought this would have been the harder question, but if I got it right away.
Yeah, I think I insta-locked that one.
You did. We should see huge of it. John, you're going to be replaced as the nerds.
I used to say
Pretty soon, man. John put Misa see a huge fisha, which the fisha makes him sound like he's like a 4-year-old, like fisha. And yes, that is the correct answer, Levi. It is a goober fish. But what he says, what? Big goober fish.
Big goober fish, huge on teeth.
I knew this one just because of my brother and I. Like, we used to say this quote often, so I think I was cheated on that one. But we used to just like say gooberfish to every single so if my brother and I were, at SeaWorld or any place with like a little aquarium in like the hotel lobby or something, gooberfish. We would just point it and say gooberfish as little kids. So
Nice.
I feel like
all right.
cheated.
Feel cheated? No, it's okay. I mean, you already cheated with the Keira Knightley question too.
That's true.
But you got half point for it. Okay, Levi, you got 1.5.
I think I had a clean sweep here.
I think you did.
Yeah.
You got 2.5. That's correct. John, bless your heart. You got. You got 1.
Let's go. True.
Dude, that's 25%. That's 20% right there.
That's 20%. That's almost passing. Just adding
C's get the
40 more percent. And here's the thing. I'm playing this and I'm really diving into the Star Wars lore and starting off as a Padawan.
Oh yes, John.
You're on Padawan braid, man.
Just you wait. Yeah, I got Padawan braid right now.
All right, well, that brings us into our third section, which is bad opinion.
Now this is pod racing.
This is all about bad opinions, and we are each going to give a bad opinion and then debate it. I will go first, since you guys probably need a little bit more time for your bad opinion. So, hold up, my wife just yelled something. What? Yeah, it is, but I don't want to say hot take. Stop interrupting. All right, I gotta go back. Say it again.
Cut.
All right, that brings us into our next section called Bad Opinion. We are both going to give an opinion about the movie that we think is good, but the other one thinks probably not good, and we're going to debate and talk about it. Yes, this is like a hot take, but bad opinion is way more fun to say. So here's my bad opinion. Jar Jar Binks is actually a good character. And a lot of people, even me to begin with, was like, "Get this guy off here. He's terrible. He's a bad addition to it." But if you look at it from George Lucas's perspective, that Star Wars is made for kids. This is a great character. Kids laugh at him. They find him fun. He actually adds to the story, and there's whole lore created and theories created around Jar Jar Binks on his actions alone, and that he is actually the ultimate Sith Lord. Like, he's that real villain. There's been a lot of parodies regarding that too. So, yeah, I think that is he is a good character, and he is needed in this movie because there needs some comical relief. It's too serious. It's way too serious. They need some comical relief, and that comical relief, I can hear your argument already. There is no comical relief in Star Wars. Well, there is. His name is C-3PO. And he is introduced a little bit in the movie, but he is there for maybe a total screen time of 8 minutes, maybe, tops. Anthony Daniels is used. So they need that comical relief, and Jar Jar Binks does it.
So here's the thing about Jar Jar. I know this is not episode 1, but episode 2, he convinces the Senate to grant Palpatine emergency powers, which means that Jar Jar effectively is responsible for killing like billions of people. So, Sith Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
This
think
episode 3.
he might be a Sith.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you agree with my bad
I
opinion.
think that he is.
No, Scotty, are you stupid? I think Jar Jar.
I think Jar Jar is a good character as well. I'm not going to fight on that one too much. I think that personally, maybe my hot take on the Jar Jar is that he should have been played by like a live action character. That would have been cool and creepy.
Oh.
My wife just say everybody loves Jar Jar Binks. That's not true.
No,
I never hated Jar Jar, actually. I'm kind of a John on this. I never really disliked it.
I didn't see the hate for him, but I think that he was just too silly for the adult Star Wars fans at the time, and that's why he got hated. Like he didn't fit into the war-driven Star Wars universe that they had envisioned going into seeing the films, and so then that created such like a large discussion about Jar Jar being, a misplaced character, and someone else should have filled that spot of a character. Versus now, you kind of look back and you see that Star Wars is at its core a light-hearted sci-fi universe. Yeah, there's like darker tones and there's darker elements of the films, but across the board, you have humor in all of them. Like in the the original trilogy, like R2D2 and 3PO, like they're comedic relief, and they kind of just do some like silly things. And I think Jar Jar was there to do that as well. And also the silliness, kind of like it's kind of realistic in a way. Like not everyone in the world is gonna be the smartest, most level-headed. I was gonna say human. He's not human. Individual, I guess, in the universe, and you're gonna have these kind of just kind of silly beings, and that just kind of makes it all work. And we see that in the world. You get silly people, and that helps kind of balance out the seriousness sometimes. And I think Jar Jar. I think he's a fun character. I like when I like when he tries to just like eat the food across the room where his tongue gets stuck. Is that in this one? Yeah, I think
it is in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to piggyback off John, I think the world could use more goofiness in general all the time. Mm-hmm. Goofiness is beneficial. Laughter is healthy. Yeah.
Everybody needs a laugh.
Props.
Everybody needs a laugh.
All right. John, what's your hot take?
Yeah. So I think my hot take is I don't hate Kid Anakin. I don't think he's like okay. What are the reasons people hate him for? That he's like whiny?
I think it's because
I don't know because I never hated him.
He's a child.
I think it's because people they're like, oh my word, it's Darth Vader, but it's this brat child that is, I don't know, a bad actor.
Everyone starts out as a brat child sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't know. I think that he did like
not my child.
Yeah, I think he did just fine, and I honestly kind of enjoyed him. Like, just kind of thinking back, I haven't watched the movie in real recent time. I need to go back and watch it. But he, just kind of sitting there, the pod racer with the big old goggles on his eyes. He's just kind of a funny kid. I like him a lot in the movie, but I don't know.
I think he's a worthless character in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Well, no. He's small, so he can climb through the little vents.
Don't worry, Ewoks though. Ewoks could do the same thing. Like they should give him more.
Yeah, but if you play the complete saga with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you don't unlock the Ewoks until you play those levels. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Justice for little Anakin.
We'll see what the comment section, and we'll see what our audience, if we have.
Well, they already turned it off.
They agree with you.
Jar Jar was a good character, so your audience is gone. Sorry.
That's very true. They're just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, Levi, you can actually just leave now too. I don't even know why I kept talking.
Good, because my hot take was actually I like the kid actor Anakin, but I'll put another one.
Too late. You got to go with it again. Your hot take is that it should have been 3 lightsabers and not 2
Yeah.
lightsabers for
Darth
Darth
Maul, the
Maul.
triple wielding. Yeah. I guess I can say I thought the Gungan droid fight was hot garbage.
Everybody's not a hot take.
What?
Not a lot of people. That's not a bad opinion. Everybody, that's a good opinion. Like everybody agrees with that.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought everyone loved the fight
I
scene.
kind of like the. I like when they
No.
launched the little like orbs at the
Dude, I
droids.
got so bored during the Gungan droid fight scene. I was ready for the next stuff to come on.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly, because you're like, oh, cool. They're like, oh, wow. The attacking the palace. That's really fun. Oh, dude, Duel of the Fates going on. That's even better. Kind
Gungan
of
fight
Anakin in the space. That's
Yeah.
okay. And then it goes the Gungan fight. You're like, skip. It's like watching Frodo and Sam like traverse the
No,
country
don't bring that.
in 2 towers.
True.
In 2 towers, you're just like, skip.
Dude, you've got like Gimli up on the wall just hacking at Uruk-hai coming up the ladders, and then it pans over to the hobbits with Faramir, and you're like, what is this? I want to see killing.
Who
I
cares?
want to see death.
Boring.
Boring.
Even the fight in Osgiliath is so bad. It is just boring. You're just like, oh, cool. The Witch King is here.
It's all about Frodo's
Frodo,
internal
Frodo, don't go up
turmoil.
there.
Yeah.
Let me get on to Frodo.
That's right. Also, good series.
Gungan
Oh,
fight
no.
is Sam and Frodo.
That's our next episode. Actually, is the the 2 towers.
Which one's worse, Gungan fight or Sam and Frodo's relationship?
I don't know, man. I like the Boomas.
You did?
I love the
Yeah,
Boomas.
that's fair.
All right,
Okay,
you
it's pretty
switch.
cool.
All right, you
It's pretty
switch.
hunkered down. What?
Just switch. Just switch your opinions. Levi said he liked the kid actor. You're saying now that you like the purple energy balls.
I like all of
What?
it. I've already said that this is a 6 out of 5 movie, so I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
No, you didn't. You said it was an 8 out of 10. What are you talking about?
there's nothing wrong with this film.
Not even like all the droids turning off.
There's nothing wrong with this. John.
I mean, Anakin just let's admit it. Anakin did what we all do when we play when we play Battlefront 2, the original Battlefront 2.
Yeah, he
We
played as
just
Darth
fly
Maul.
into the enemy's ship. Yeah. He plays as Darth Maul.
Just kills
Darth
everything.
Maul just you go into the enemy ship and you just chuck grenades at their hyperdrive or their core, and then it blows up from the inside and you win the space battle. Like every time. That's how it works. That's how you beat the game.
Yeah.
That's how you win the battle.
That's how to do it. That's why he's a good actor.
He should have died. That little turd.
That's a good
died
segue.
in that.
I like that.
Well, speaking of segues, let's go ahead and I guess are we settled with the Boombas and we both disagree with John, right, Levi? We found one hot take we disagree with.
I mean,
John, the Gungan battle is hot garbage. It's so bad. And nobody cares about it.
The tanks, the vehicles, all that are awesome. And then you see them just like roll up. And then the NPTs, the big like brown ones, the droids just get like deployed.
Yeah, John, that's the best part of the fight scene, though. The deploying of the droids. That's the
beginning.
That's part of the fight scene.
So the best part of the fight scene is when they shoot the cannon after it goes through, and just a bunch of Gungans just blow up in the background, and you just see that happen.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Dude, John, you're like,
and then after that,
you're You're describing a painter doing a painting and saying, dude, it was such a good painting when he wetted his brush at the end, or at the beginning, when he first like dipped it in water to get it all started. Yeah, that's a good painting.
When he started
Don't
his
be
car to
hating
go
on
to
my
the studio.
No, you guys are. I don't even know if I could be on this podcast anymore.
John, I love the Gungan fight. I've always loved it ever since I was a child. Listen to me.
I will say, I really do want to pick up one of those purple energy ball things. Which
Yeah.
am I crazy, or is
Yes.
that the same thing that Boss Nass is holding at the end where he goes peace?
It is, and then he smacks on his head and has a discharge moment.
He spikes it.
Yeah.
He spikes it on the ground.
Is Boss NASA a normal Gungan? Like, how did he turn into Boss Nass?
He's just a fat Gungan.
No fat shaming it, John. This is Boss Nass.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
He's a built Gungan.
Yeah, Bill.
Or as
I didn't know he was born and like they were like, oh, this guy's the king. You know, maybe they were like that kind of.
Well, it's actually no one really knows this, but it's a communist environment there in the Gungan environment. So he has all the wealth.
Dictatorship.
Yeah, so he's just eating, and none of them are. So they'd all look like him.
Yeah, that's why they're so skinny.
Oh,
Are there
that
any
makes
women
sense.
Gungan? Like
No, this is a communist, Scotty. There's no women.
That's right. Russia, famous for not having women. I forgot.
Yeah. Boss NASA just like hits Boomas together and it makes more Jar Jars.
Russia, they don't know what if they have women or not because they just wear big coats and they're just like, I don't know, are you fat or you have big coats? It's like that. I think it's a Family Guy. They're like, all right, we're all gonna drop our coats on 3. 1, 2, 3, and he drops it and like he's fat, she's skinny. He goes, yeah. All right. On that note, we're getting off the rails. We're gonna go into the next portion, which is rank 'em. So this is rank 'em. I have our tier list here. We have Ewok mode, which is our S tier. For those of you that don't know, Ewok mode is a mode you can play in Battlefront, the original, and it's OP. It's probably the best mode you can ever play. Wicket is literally unstoppable, and that's why it's S tier. Below S tier is high ground. Everybody knows the high ground is the GOAT, is the best way, is the best place to be. Especially if you're Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is funny because he has the low ground at the very end of the movie with Darth Maul, but then he jumps above Darth Maul to get the high ground and then slices. I don't know. I don't understand.
I mean, he's kind of on even ground.
Well, Anakin's also jumping. Anakin's jumping to the high ground,
True.
right? Isn't that so? Maybe
he's just trying to convince that it's not the high ground.
It's like reverse psychology, like a Jedi mind trick.
Obi-Wan is insane with the low vantage point.
He's a short
king.
All right. And we have I am the Senate, which we all know. I am the Senate. That's like the middle ground. Not everybody wants to be the Senate. Not everybody likes politics, but if you are the Senate, you have a lot of power, and maybe you kill a couple of Jedi too. So that's why it's middle. And then Padawan braid. It's the braid in the back for the Padawan. We all know it's it's the piece that gets left over that gets cut off when you become a Jedi Knight. So not as significant, but it's better than the dumpster fire that is the Acolyte, and that is our F tier is the Acolyte.
Wow.
So based on our rankings that we have, where are we putting the Phantom Menace? I swear, if you say Ewok mode,
John, I think we have to take an average here because Scotty really bumped it down a whole couple notches. So I'd probably say high ground. Poor thing.
Yeah, I mean, high ground's where I'm at, realistically.
I think it's a low high ground, like a small hill.
Hey, Gotti, dual lightsabers. What do you mean? Hello?
Oh, that's so true.
Bring back your
The
inner
way he kills
child.
Qui-Gon is the way he kills Qui-Gon is really dumb. Like if you think about it, he hits him with the middle of the hilt of the lightsaber.
Yeah, I try not to think about it really.
Stuns him, and then he spins around and stabs him in the gut.
But the way Obi-Wan Kenobi kills him is really cool because he's cut in half.
True. From the low ground.
That scene when he's like falling in episode 1, and then you just see the body fall apart was so cool.
True.
Also,
I think with when we were doing our little watch there before the they said he makes the exact same face that Frodo makes when he gets stabbed by Shelob. It's really funny because it really is just like, oh! And then but like Frodo, like he has like spit.
True, there's a instead of that was Frodo.
Yeah. What is it? What is it?
Like the thwomp from Mario.
What is it? I sent I think I sent John, maybe you too, Levi, on Instagram. I sent this kid that does the Lego Star Wars yells, like death sounds.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Like,
he does
all of them.
His R2D2 was amazing.
He really screamed that one out.
It is so good. It really is.
All right, let's hear the R2D2 impressions.
I'm gonna let him make my baby.
Sorry, wife. I hope she's not sleeping or anything.
All right, John, go ahead.
That's pretty good.
Hey,
really that one.
The mics can't even pick it up; it just cuts out. Love it.
It's too much. All right, well, it's gonna stay at high ground. Next week, we will talk about Attack of the Clones, and that was a list.
Ewok mode.
Thank you all for watching. It is stop. Thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe if you liked what you heard. If you disagree with any of us, please don't come after us.
Then leave.
We don't care that much, but we do care. This has been Nerds Converse. Thank you, and thanks for watching, for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And may the
Gosh, I gotta
force...
pee.
No, I'm cutting it off right there.